Hello and welcome to Project Moto. Another catch-up video. I feel pretty guilty really, I haven't posted anything for ages, but I have got lots of video to edit and upload. So today I'm just going to do a really quick video about rebuilding the engine and how we got on. So the engine's up together, the bike is getting on, it's starting to look lovely. So yeah, keep watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks. So to begin with, I've removed the seals from the engine crankcase shells, give them a wipe round with a rag to make sure the surfaces are clean before fitting the new seal. The engine's got quite a few seals that need replacing. This one in particular is for the clutch activating arm. Again, cleaned it up and greased and inserted a new seal. Obviously, new seals have been fitted to the ends of the crank shafts. These are very important on a two-stroke, as they, if you get a leak past there, it actually affects the performance. Here I'm just putting the sealant on to the engine cases. I'm using my finger so I can actually feel and make sure I've got on a decent coating and make sure that I cover every surface. So putting the two engine halves together, probably should have taken the studs out totally, but it was the only way I could think really to torque them in correctly before putting the engine cases together. My marked up bit of cardboard came in very handy for the different lengths of bolts, so I was pleased I did that. Seems like a waste of time at the time, but there you go, all helps, especially when you're putting something back together a couple of months later. So the first pass is done with a torque wrench on the top of the casing clamp. And then with it flipped over, we follow on by doing the bottom nuts on the crankcase halves, all up to the correct torque specification, obviously. And then you go back to the top, re-torque the top bolts. I had to buy a new torque wrench for this because my old one didn't go low enough. So then just start assembling the side of the engine. This is the kickstart gear, followed by the fiddly circlip. Then onto the primary gear with the woodruff key, which are always fiddly. Wasn't too bad. And then the other gears go on for driving the water pump and the oil pump. This lock nut, it is a right hand thread and has to be done up to the correct torque specification. It's quite hard. I had to lock the engine off in order to tighten that up correctly. So here I'm just putting the clutch baits back in the correct order. There is a specific way of tightening these up because they, I think it must be for balancing. Put the clutch plate back on and tighten up all the bolts. Here I can be seen putting the gudgeon pins in, followed by the circlips on the new pistons. Unfortunately, I didn't capture actually putting the cylinders on, but they weren't too bad actually. I didn't use a piston ring compressor, I just used my fingers, and that seemed to work really well. Fitted the new gasket. This is the cylinder head, all reconditioned and cleaned up and painted and ready to go back together. Here's the head gasket going on. followed by the cylinder head. Right, so on the top of these, on the top of this cylinder head, there is numbers that correspond to each bolt nut, if you prefer, and that is the order in which you torque them up. Four is that one. 28 Newton meters. 1, 2. This water pump cover, there was a stud snapped off here, so I took it to work, and my friend Dicey, who's the coolest guy in the world, kindly welded a nut on the bolt, and we got it out. So I've done all my prep on this piece. It took me a bit longer than I anticipated because I wasn't really thinking. So I hadn't rebuilt the water pump, so I took all this apart. I replaced the bearing, replaced the seal, which is actually this side of the bearing, placed the seal in here. By the time you've cleaned up all the gaskets and all that kind of thing, it takes a little while. So anyway, that's ready to go back on now, so I shall put that back on the engine. I've just got to replace the tube on top of the engine, which locates in here. So this is my rebuild kit for the front brake master cylinder. Okay, we have a master and a slave. So the slave is basically the actual wheel calipers. One rebuilt front master cylinder. So after doing the front master cylinder, the rear one doesn't seem too much different. Again, there's two seals, front and rear, for this cylinder piston. This is like a half an external piece. I'll show you as I put it together anyway. Itself in there by the look of things. Okay, that's in nicely. So yeah, there you go. I'll just put this adjusting nut back on so I don't lose it. About the same place it was before. Put the connecting piece back on. Okay, fantastic. I'm not going to tighten that up yet because there's no point. I will clean all this up. Wake up! Yeah, I know. It's not always exciting building motorbikes, you know. Sometimes you've got to go through all this laborious little minor details to get to where you're going. But don't worry, it does get better. I'm just going to show quickly rebuilding the brake calipers. I'm not going to dwell on it too much. If anyone does want me to post videos on how to rebuild the brake calipers, then I'll do that. But the bike is sort of progressed on, and I need to get these videos out now really, so you can see what I've been up to before I get on to my next project. Anyway, cheers. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. So there you have it. That was just one of the front brake calipers. The other side is obviously the same. The rear, pretty much the same. So hopefully you get the idea now. Yeah, like I say, the bike's moved on, and got lots more videos to show you. So please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.